Hello everybody and welcome back to Godox Film Lighting 101. Today we're going to look at two different looks at the same location. One look for daytime and one look for nighttime. Let's check it out. Time restraints are one of the biggest challenges for any production. Sometimes you need to film a night scene and a day scene at the same location, but can't exactly wait all day for it to become nighttime or vice versa. For this episode, let's dive into a few lighting techniques that we can use to easily transform a set to make it work for us. To start off, let's find a location that can help pull this off. I chose an extremely small room to help show that you don't need a ton of space or lights when doing this. First things first, look for a window or something in the room that will allow for motivated light. I like this small area above the couch because I could include a window in the shot and still hide the outside world. I also like the contrasting color of the wardrobe closet to the rest of the room. It allows for an extra layer of detail to help show the shape of the light spilling in from the window. The window also had shutters, which are great for cutting and shaping the light as it enters the room. Now that we know our location and have placed the camera, let's build the lighting for our daytime scene. The first light I placed was outside of the window. I went with the Godox VL300 and added a CTO gel to warm up the color temperature. This helps create the illusion of the setting sun. I used the Godox C-stand and arm to place the light very high up. I also angled it downward, pointing it directly at the window. The VL300 is extremely bright and does a great job of mimicking the sun. I set this light to 70% power. To help with realism, I clamped a few artificial tree leaves to a light stand to help create some additional shadows. This helps the artificial sunlight look a little more natural as it spills inside the window. This actually looks like the sun is about to set and is probably a little too dark to be reading a book. So I turned on the practical lamp that's in the corner. This actually looks very believable. You could even stop here if you're going for a moody evening look. Or this could even pass for a nighttime look with a street lamp beaming in from outside the window. Let's go ahead and brighten up the scene a bit more to make it look a little more daylight. Because of the smaller room, I took a battery-powered Godox ML60. I added a frosted gel for diffusion as well as a CTO and bounced this light into a Godox 5-in-1 reflector. I used the gold side of the reflector to help warm things up even more. Bouncing the light off the reflector allows for a softer light around the room. This light was set to 13% power. I then used another Godox ML60 with a frost gel for added diffusion and to also add some daylight balance to the scene. This was used to bounce light off the ceiling to evenly distribute light throughout the room. This light was set to 34% power. I then added some atmospheric haze for the final touch. Now let's look at how we can transform the same location into a night scene. First off, I changed the camera's white balance to 3200K to give the overall image a cool blue tone. If we just went with the available practical lamp, this is the result. The scene is pretty dark and hides a lot of the detail within the environment. So from here I bounced a Godox ML60 off of the 5-in-1 reflector, just the same as before, but this time I bounced it on the silver side of the reflector. I left the CTO gel on to keep some warm diffusion in the scene to help with skin tones. This light was set to 13% power. Once again, I used an ML60 with a frost gel to bounce light off the ceiling to help brighten up the room a bit. This kind of serves as our fill light. Because it was nighttime, I thought it would be nice to have the subject watch TV. For this effect, I brought in a Godox LC500R. This light has several lighting effects, including a TV effect. You can even control the speed of the effect. I chose to use the level 3 setting so that the light would change more frequently. Now all we need to do is add some moonlight. Outside the window, I had the VL300 set up. I removed the CTO gel and then angled the light through the window the same way as before. This time I set it at 30% power. To make things even more realistic, I lightly shook the leaves I had clamped to the stand. This adds a little more to the overall scene and really helps it come to life. Once again, I added some atmospheric haze. Hopefully these techniques are helpful for you to try out on some of your future projects. Like and subscribe for more tutorials. Thank you so much for tuning in to Godox Film Lighting 101. We'll see you next time.